Folks, the world is changing fast. Trump's trade war and the Iran disaster have sent shockwaves everywhere. And his relationship with Saudi Arabia, let's just say, is on life support because of the Iran war. But while the US is busy burning bridges, Carney just walked in and built a whole new highway. Today I will pull back the curtain on yet another remarkable thing Mark Carney just did. Yesterday, on July 9th, 2026, Prime Minister Mark Carney did something no Canadian leader has done in 26 years. He landed in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and shook hands with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. This trip wasn't just about pleasantries. Shortly after his arrival, Carney signed 13 commercial deals worth over $1 billion. But then, he dropped the bombshell. He pitched for $1 trillion in foreign investment into Canada by the end of the decade. A deal Trump can only dream of. So, today, I break the story down in 4 parts. First, the new reality. How Trump forced Canada's hand. Second, the big opportunity. What's in it for Canada? Third, the heavy cost, the risk we are taking. And fourth, the high stakes. Can we pull this off without selling our soul? So, let's get started. Let's be real, folks. If Trump wasn't busy picking fights with everyone, Carney probably wouldn't be in the Middle East right now. Trump's war with Iran has completely shattered the US-Saudi alliance. The Saudis are furious. When the White House launched Project Freedom to escort oil tankers, the Crown Prince flat out refused to let US forces use Saudi airspaces or bases for offensive ops against Iran. That killed the mission in less than 48 hours. And the US response? They threatened to withhold missile interceptors, the ones Saudi needs to survive Iranian drone strikes. Talk about a toxic relationship, eh? That heavy-handed pressure burned any trust right now to the ground. Now the US is even talking about pulling troops out of Saudi Arabia. The rift is real, my friends, and Trump just lost one of his richest allies. So, where do the Saudis look? Well, they look north. They look to us. And this is where it gets exciting. Carney walked into the Saudi-Canadian Investment Forum and saw the crown jewel. The Saudi Public Investment Fund with over $1.2 trillion in assets. That was the moment he didn't just ask for pocket change. Instead, he pitched a macroeconomic vision to pump $1 trillion into Canada by the decade's end. 13 commercial deals were signed literally immediately, covering everything from mining, AI to healthcare. Companies like Atkins, Realis and Hatch are looking into rules in Saudi's Vision 2030 mega projects. Even our colleges, like Niagara College, getting in on training their workforce. Carney is promoting Canada as the world's most stable infrastructure investment destination. Clean energy, hydrogen, critical minerals, you name it, and no Trumpian character in sight. And the best part? We are diversifying just a little further away from the US. Carney is doubling down on that message that we need to reduce our dependency on the US. This was elbows up on a very international level. Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Carney is getting criticized for cozying up to a regime with a sketchy human rights record. We all remember the Khashoggi murder and the cover-up. Donald Trump, anyone? When reporters pressed Carney on this, his answer was blunt and pragmatic. He said, engagement is not endorsement. He argued that lecturing countries from afar is an ineffective strategy. I totally agree with everyone who says it's a risky game. And it makes me sick, honestly, just to think what the Saudis did to Khashoggi. The liberals, the NDP, and human rights groups are furious. But Carney is betting that sitting at the table is better than yelling from the sidelines. It's a cold, calculated move, yes. And it's stirring up a lot of controversy here at home. I guess this is why you have to be thick-skinned to be a politician. And Carney, despite the problematic, does what is best for Canada. For our Canada. So, where does leave us? The Canada-Saudi Arabia Coordination Council has been launched to deepen ties in trade, defense and culture. They are even negotiating binding investment protection and double taxation deals to lock that in. But the big question is, will the money actually flow? The 1 trillion is a macroeconomic goal, not a check in the bank. It requires Saudi capital to buy into our infrastructure and minerals. Canadian pension funds are expected to chase Saudi opportunities too. But this is a show me the money scenario. We need to see the capital move to call this a success. And with Trump watching, you better believe the Americans are trying to stop this. But Carney is sending a clear message. Canada is a sovereign nation with options, and Canada is going for it. Listen, this is the biggest shift in Canadian foreign policy in a decade. We are trading with a controversial ally to survive Trump's chaos, yes. We are risking moral outrage for economic resilience, yes. Carney has thrown the dice, and the whole world is watching to see if this bet pays off. Here's my question to you. Is the Carney government right to put economics ahead of human rights in the Saudi deal? Or are we making a deal with the devil? Smash that like button if you think Canada needs to stand on its own 2 feet, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Wilfried Lemkula with Europe Curious, where we don't just repeat the daily headlines, but open the curtain so you can see for yourself what's really behind it. See you in the next one.